Okay, testing, testing, testing. YouTube is going. Looks like Rumble is going. And Odyssey as well. We are live. How you doing, Chris?
Doing okay.
Yeah, it's a rough day for me, so I won't be on camera. But other than that, it's going great.
Why is it a rough day for you today?
Just the weather doing what it does, and you know what that does to my pain levels.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just not in any. I'm not very photogenic right now.
Mm. Oh,
Because
but the
we had
doctor
it, it
said the
was in
reason.
like the upper 70s over the weekend, which
Mm.
was really nice. And then right after that, it dropped down to the 20s.
Yeah,
And now it's warming
but
back
the,
up. But, it's just the roller coaster. It's like I'm saran wrap or something trying to go from one extreme to the other.
mm. No, but the people on the internet said the reason why you're in constant pain is because you're addicted to painkillers. Mm.
Yeah, somehow painkillers make the pain worse. I don't know what's wrong with people.
Yep. Mm.
I mean, there is a tolerance effect, but they act like the tolerance effect just, keeps going no matter how long you take them. But no, it plateaus. And so, you're trying to find a good balancing point there. All right. Do we have people in the chat? Let's see. Oh, yep. We already got Zen over on Rumble. Hang on. I heard about Jesse Jackson. I didn't hear about Michael Perini. H.K. Edgerton was wise to call Jackson a poverty pimp. Yep. Gotta love a black guy who dresses up as a Confederate and waves around a Confederate flag.
Mhm.
Edgerton is properly nuts.
Mm. Yeah, speaking of that, of the Confederacy and all that, I'd recently just listened to an audiobook, Blood Meridian. It got me into pre antebellum and antebellum South and all that. And it's one funny thing about the Confederate States of America. I actually, out of curiosity, I read the entirety of the Constitution, and for a nation that everyone says was built on the basis of white supremacy and pro-slavery, it barely mentions slavery at all, and nowhere does it mention white supremacy.
Yeah, with like one, maybe two additional clauses, all of the references to slavery in the Confederate Constitution were copied straight over from the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
I think it was Hikikomori on the Discord just posted from the Emancipation Proclamation all of the places where Lincoln had banned slavery, and he didn't ban it in the slave states that hadn't seceded. He didn't ban it in Tennessee, which they had taken back over, and he didn't ban it in the parts of Louisiana and Virginia, which they already had control over.
Yeah.
So basically, anywhere they could have actually done something about it, he didn't ban
Yeah.
slavery.
Honestly, I think the biggest proof to show that the Civil War, was not 100% about slavery, there were other factors that I went to it, is the Corwin Amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, if slavery was the sole cause of the Civil War, then it never should have happened, because there was the Corwin Amendment, which pretty much would have given, the southern states what they wanted, and they still rejected it.
Lincoln
It's funny
supported
because I
that,
saw
by
it.
the way.
Yeah. And it's funny because someone in a comment on the Civil War brought that up, and someone was like, "Oh, they opposed the Corwin Amendment because they didn't just want to preserve slavery; they wanted to expand it." Well, yeah, the Corwin Amendment provided for that.
Yeah.
It didn't say you can have slavery, but you can't expand it. It flat out says that the decision to abolish slavery is up to the state governments, and the federal government shall have no say in the matter.
Hang on, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Oh, and once again, we got everyone posting all of their long prose before they actually quote the friggin' thing.
Yep, of course.
Here we go.
Eh,
No amendment shall be made to the Constitution. So we're even talking about restricting how you can amend the Constitution, which will authorize or give to Congress the power to abolish or interfere within any state with the domestic institutions thereof, including that of persons held to labor or service by the laws of said state. And notice that by the way it's phrased, it's really implying that you can't do that anyway.
mm,
They're just saying that you can't have an amendment that allows it. I
mm.
always kind of wondered though, like if that had been the 13th Amendment, but it says no amendment. But couldn't you just repeal the 13th Amendment and do it anyway?
Yeah, it's who knows.
You just start with the 13th Amendment is hereby repealed, and then you do your thing.
Mm,
All right, none on YouTube so far. Let's see.
mm.
Don't mention to Vlogging Through History, Cynical Historia, about how Lincoln had dissidents thrown in jail, how only 3 Confederate states wanted to keep their slaves. There was actually a few attempts to get Britain and France to officially recognize the Confederacy, and they offered in exchange that they would ban slavery in perpetuity if they would just, if they would just recognize them.
On speaking of like the post Civil War period and all that, who's another politician that I think gets a little overhated? Andrew Johnson. You see, he gets hated and all that because of like, oh, he wasn't hard enough on the South and he let them take over and he implemented all these policies that undid what Lincoln was planning on doing. There's just one itty bitty little fact: all the stuff he implemented was stuff Lincoln was planning on doing had he not been assassinated.
Yeah, it was all his plans for Reconstruction.
Yeah, the idea that we won't force the South, to swear 100% loyalty, while they have to free their slaves, they don't have to accept them, all that yada yada. That was Lincoln. That was his plan.
Yep.
Yep. And I mean, granted, we'll never know for sure because it's all speculation, but all those people that are saying if only the radical Republicans had gone into power, then Jim Crow never would have happened. It's like, honestly, from what I understand, if that had happened, there would have been a second Civil War in like the 1880s.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
There was
I
the
actually
war
read.
almost started up again over the martial law because they kept dragging it on for so many years. They finally stopped it because it was threatening another war.
Yep. I mean, yeah, many people fail to realize, the hatred towards African Americans, all that. It didn't pop out of nowhere. It happened partially because of how the Southerners were treated by the North post Civil War. They were basically put under martial law. A lot of their constitutional rights were automatically taken away. They were basically, they didn't even have proper elections. Like if I recall correctly, a lot of governors were basically only governor on paper, but it was actually the Union General in command of the state that called all the shots. Basically, they were living under martial law and all that.
Are we on YouTube? Because I'm still not seeing anything in the chat. See, the thing is, the extensions to OBS that simulcast to Rumble and Odyssey tell me that it's going in how many megabits per second and stuff like that. It doesn't actually say that to YouTube, so I'm just kind of left to assume that.
Shane, you're cutting out there.
Oh, sorry.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not seeing any dropped frames or anything.
Yeah, and someone mentioned vlogging through history. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like some of his videos, but the biggest problem with him is that it's like, "Whoa, what? Can you hear me?"
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, my issue with vlogging through history is that he suffers the same problem that a lot of YouTube historians have, is that they get their history basically from the historical education textbook they teach you if you're planning on becoming a history teacher for school, you know. And as I can't remember who said it, one of our old co-hosts back in the day when you had co-hosts said the way the public school system set it up is that humans were cavemen eating mud, eating mugs, and wiping their butts with their bare hands, but then the state came and we suddenly became intelligent and smart. How?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, who are the
Yeah.
ones who set up the state? If everyone was dumb, who were the smart people who set up the state?
Yeah. For some reason, YouTube's not working for me.
Is it not?
Hmm.
Hang on, let's see.
Paper, but it was actually the Union command of the state.
It looks like it's streaming for me.
That's it's my end.
Okay.
I'm having connection issues. Yeah, my connection's been all wonky lately. Yeah, by the way, it wasn't vlogging through history, it was a different YouTuber historian, but he was mentioning like the history of slavery and all that, and he mentioned the Haitian Revolution, and he's like, I'm such a big fan of Haiti. They're so base. They had a revolution and ended slavery, and and he conveniently ignored like one of the top rated comments where someone said, "You do realize the Haitians launched a genocide against white people when they seized power? You know that, right?"
Zen has a link about the erotic art of Pompeii. It's interesting because people are acting like, ooh, Pompeii was like the special area. That's where all like the porn was and all the prostitution and everything else. No, no, no. That's just the one that got preserved. The volcano erupted and it kind of froze everything in time.
Yeah.
And it did it in a way that,
I mean, yeah, that's why it's such a
pompous artists can't
significant
misinterpret everything.
Yeah. Yeah, pompous artists. Yep.
See, look at these ancient sculptures. They're
Speak.
the, fertility gods and goddesses. Look at how, big the breasts are. That's because of, the goddesses give milk to the world. And like, no, it's not. It's porn. Take a look at the phallus
Yeah.
on that thing. Or you've got something that's just a phallus on its
Oh
own,
yeah.
not as part of a statue and its actual size. And they were like, well, this was probably some sort of tribute to, you see how the rounded end is kind of smoother than the rest? Yeah, I think that end was used for something. People haven't changed. We didn't just all of a
Yeah.
sudden discover sex in the 20th
And
century.
earlier that book I said blood.
Oh, you're cutting
Yeah.
out. Still no one in the chat, or do I
And
need to
speaking of that
refresh
book I
it?
mentioned, yeah, I don't know why.
We might be having connection issues.
Yeah, my voice is connecting. It's probably my end. It's at 845 ms. Yeah.
Hey, Miller, I don't know what that would be unless that would be latency or something, in which case that's not bad.
Yeah. I just want to
Because
know.
that's milliseconds. I don't know what else you'd be.
I don't know what it is. I can't wait till AI becomes smart enough that it can literally tell us exactly what is wrong with us and what we can potentially do to fix it, and not just this whole error 132246. And I'm like, well, what do I do? recheck the connection. Can't connect. Why? Can't connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe
Well, that was
the
like
AI can
Discord
say,
before we
maybe
went
the
on,
AI
though. I
can
was
say,
trying to
we
get the
can't connect.
microphone working, and it just had this mysterious error number, and I'm looking in the settings, and everything's working, and then all of a sudden it cleared up, and everything worked, and I'm like, what was going on there? What happened?
Mm, mm, I don't know. Pornographic has been around since ancient times, something the hentai haters never learn. And you know what else the hentai haters need to understand? It's like, yes, some of that hentai art is very creepy and disturbing, but guess what? And I think there have been court cases that have brought this up. It's just drawings. It's not CP, it's not zoo, it's drawings.
Yeah, as long as you're not
Yeah.
actually using a
You,
child model in the creation of it, then there's nothing government can do about it.
yeah.
What was that, Eldridge v.
Oh
Ashcroft?
yeah.
I think it was.
It actually reminds me of that one
It's one of
SpongeBob
the
meme someone made
Ashcrofts.
from that one episode, yeah, but it was the that one episode where SpongeBob becomes a hall monitor and he thinks he's a cop, and the police show Patrick a crudely drawn picture of SpongeBob because they think he's a maniac and he freaks out. They did something like that where it's like, have you seen this artwork? And it shows a picture of lolly hentai, and the guy and Patrick, who's labeled the government, the government goes, oh, CP, keep it away, keep it away. Relax, son, it's just a drawing.
Ceci n'est pas une pipe. Draw a picture of a pipe and say,
Hmm,
this is not a pipe.
hmm. Well, what else could it
I
be?
resurrected
It's
that one
obviously a
because
pipe.
of the but because of the thing now about how they're trying to make 3D files illegal because you can use them to print guns. Yeah, the meme I'd made, you have the McGrit, this is not a pipe. And under that, it's a 3D model of a gun. And I wrote, this is
I know
not a
they're
gun.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did something like that with They're doing something like that with AI. Like there was a South Park. Like I don't know what happened to South Park, but they got cringy. But they released a really cringy episode where like they criticized AI, where like they have Bluey from the TV show saying AI is making me do stuff that I would never do. It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Bluey's a fictional character, so you can't really do anything with that. And second of all, it's like it's not official. The people who own Bluey are still in charge of it. So if you see any disturbing stuff involving Bluey on the internet, guess what? That's not canon. You don't have to watch it. And I don't watch it. Yeah, it seems like nobody's here. It seems like all the chats on Odyssey or Rumble.
Are there any on Odyssey? I haven't been checking. Hang on. No, not seeing anything on Odyssey either. Is it just Zen tonight?
I guess so.
I'm seeing 12 concurrent viewers. People are watching. They're just not chatting, or maybe the chat's not working.
Mm.
If you're watching on YouTube, put something in the chat. Let us know it's working.
Yeah. I did post something in the chat. I just said, "Is anyone here?" Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I'm supposed to ask, "Is there anybody out there?"
Is there anybody out there? See, I haven't seen yours. I put in testing the chat. I haven't seen yours yet. Are you seeing mine on the chat on your end?
No, YouTube's acting weird.
Geez, are we going to have to try this again tomorrow night because it's not working?
I mean, maybe the chat's not active.
Well, no, because we should see each other's chats. But your chat at least never showed up on my end.
Mm. I see it on the screen, but I don't see it in the chat.
Yeah, well, what you're seeing on the screen is as it is on my end. So, but you don't see it on the chat on your end.
No.
Well, that is crap. Why would that be happening?
Mm. It happens all the damn
Uh,
time too. It's like, you do the pre-check. It says we're all good to go. Everything's going to go, and then you start, and then it's like, nope, doesn't want to work. Yeah. I mean, it seems
YouTube
like
says the stream
Xenophon.
status is excellent. Stream is healthy. Why would the chat not be working?
Mm,
All right, well, if you want to chat, use the links below and come on over to Odyssey or Rumble. Rumble at least is working.
yeah.
See what I can find about this.
Mm,
I just searched for streaming on YouTube, but chat not working.
okay. Hmm. I mean, yeah, your Rumble's working just fine. I'm on it right now. It seems to only be YouTube that's being a little weird.
Yeah.
So it seems to be that the stream's working because it says it's online. It says, but the chat's not working.
What says that the chat's
Then
not
again,
working?
it says only 2 people are watching now. So
Yeah, probably because they couldn't
maybe no,
chat.
maybe. Hmm,
Hang on, let me try something else.
hmm. I guess we're trying to see. I guess we're trying to see how it works and see what's working. The thing I said earlier, you ever read the book Blood Meridian or
Nope. Now,
no?
see, I went in a different browser and it says live chat, join the conversation, but the open panel is grayed out.
Uh, well, the way I can see it, it only means one of two things: either A, it's not working on our part, or B, maybe YouTube shadow banning you. Are we gonna have to do this tomorrow then if it's not working?
We might.
Give it a few more minutes, and if it doesn't work, then I guess so.
Eh.
Hmm. Hmm. Sorry, people who are watching. The chat is broken. Maybe some status broken and ate the servers.
Someone is saying to try disabling the ad blocker.
Oh, where are they saying this?
Oh, I just did a search. Someone on Reddit had this same problem.
Mm.
Well, see, so I did that, and now I don't even see the chat I put in.
Hmm. Yeah, the only thing I can look up is that it says it's often caused by browser extensions, cache issues, disabled creator settings, or made for kids restrictions.
We might have to do this again tomorrow.
Okay. That
Hang on, let
sucks.
me try a couple other things just before we... Oh, hey, my channel is 19 years old today. All right. YouTube known issues. Issues with sending live chat messages. Messages disappear immediately after sending. Messages require multiple attempts. We'll follow up here once we have more information. Okay, it's a YouTube issue. We'll have to try it again tomorrow night.
Okay.
It's nothing we did.
Mm.
All right, thanks for joining me anyway, and thanks for the chat, Zen. I guess we'll try this again tomorrow.
Ugh.
God, YouTube. All right.
Eh.
See y'all tomorrow.